congratulations on your new CD. It is getting rave reviews. Also, the video for Loca is amazing. So, have anybody seen the video for Loca? Amazing.
It was so fun to shoot this video. You know, right before, like 2 days before we shot this video, we had a complete different plan. We were gonna do a black and white video in a studio, and I wasn't feeling really comfortable with it. So I called the director 2 days before the shoot, and I said to the guy, "Listen, Jaume," he's a dear friend of mine, "I'm not feeling this. This doesn't represent the spirit of the song, blah, blah, blah." Well, to make the story short, we ended up changing completely the story, and I just said to him, let's just go out to the streets of Barcelona, and let's just shoot all day long, and whatever happens, happens, and we'll capture that. And that's how we ended up with the video. We had no permits to shoot this video whatsoever, and from the city. And I ended up jumping in a public fountain and riding a bike with a complete stranger without a helmet.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna get fined when I get back to Barcelona.
So you roller skated without pads and a helmet.
Exactly.
That's a very Latina thing to do.
We don't want to ruin our hair, you know? It's all about the hair.
And then you got on a motorcycle, a chopper, and drove through the streets of Barcelona, jumped in a fountain, and danced all around Barcelona, and taped and changed the concept of the Loca video. Nothing done with any of the approval of any of the authorities in Spain. Fantastic. That's Loca. That's Loca. That's Loca.
That's me. It's my middle name. No, you know, I ended up jumping in the water in the middle of the night with a bunch of people who were on the beach at that time, fans and people who were just, you know, curious about the whole shoot, and they ended up in the water with me, swimming. It was great. It was the best experience.
I love it.
Of my
Better
life.
than the black and white concept, right? More you, more real.
Yeah, I think music is about spontaneity, and I refuse to lose that aspect of my life. And
good. All right, so I love that. So 20 years, when you were 10 years old, where did you start to perform?
Yeah, I started writing my first songs when I was 8. So, and by the time I was 10, I was already, you know, touring locally in small towns nearby Barranquilla. ¿De Barranquilla? ¿Sí? Ah, de Bogotá, bueno, we're close. And yeah, I used to travel with my parents, and I started making my first pesos that way, and that's how I bought my first car.
What was the first thing, when you finally made money, what did you buy? The first thing that you bought?
Well, I know that I wanted a car so bad. You know, I by the time I was 15, I wanted to have my first car, but I didn't want a quinceañera party, you know. I just wanted a car. I wanted to be able to drive to my school, and so I bought an Oldsmobile Omega, modelo 76, yeah, 66 was the car. It was a huge blue car that always leave me in the street.
It didn't run very well?
No, not very well, no. I was
what's
always
the driving
pushing
age?
it.
But at 15, can you drive legally?
Not really, no. No.
So you've been breaking laws your whole life.
No, just twice. Just that time and recently. No, I'm pretty legal. But, no, it was a fake license. Yeah. You're not allowed to drive when you're 16. I couldn't wait that long.
Now, when did you actually start to go out and tour and stuff without your parents?
I still tour with my parents. I love having my parents.
Are you serious? They come to every show?
Yeah, well, not every show, but they've come to a few of the shows that I'm doing right now. I'm currently touring the U.S., and they were with me in Miami, in Orlando, Fort Lauderdale. They were gonna come to Los Angeles, but they thought that it was too far for them.
So let me ask you this, because you said that you like to drive when you were 15. Are you still able to go out by yourself and drive? Are there things that you like to do alone?
Yeah. I drive all the time. I love driving. Whenever I'm here in LA, I rent a car and I go driving by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, my manager doesn't like it because she thinks I'm too slow. But you know, I'm in Los Angeles. I gotta be careful. You know, I'm not too used to the city rules. But I actually love the speed. But no, I'm not gonna incite anybody to do that.
So the song for the World Cup, I mean, in looking at that song, not only is it inspiring as an athlete, but it's beautiful for the world, you know, and it, I think Waka Waka had like over a billion hits on YouTube. So congratulations on that. Yeah, almost over, come on.
It was one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life, this whole World Cup experience. You know, I got to perform the song at the kickoff concert and also at the finale. Mm-hmm. I became a serious football fanatic, soccer fanatic. Yeah. You can ask me anything about soccer, you know, offside, anything. I will explain it to you right away.
Yeah, you know.
I'm all about football now.
So when people see you, and do they just dance like when they see you?
Like a reflex?
Has anybody seen you and just started to dance?
You know, when I first got to South Africa, I remember that the immigration officers received me dancing the Waka Waka. It was the most rare thing ever because you know how stern they are.
Oh, yeah,
usually, you know, they want to see what you're bringing in your bag, and you know, but they were Waka Waka-ing their way around me.
So last night, I finally got a chance to listen to your entire album. Okay, I was even following with the liner notes. Okay, the first impression that I got was that you wrote all the songs. Okay, and especially someone so young, I often see liner notes and they maybe wrote one or two, but not all of them. Do you like writing songs? Is it hard? Have you been doing it for a long time?
For me, it's really important to sing what I write and to write what I sing.
Why?
Because I think it's the only way that I have to be honest with my public. It's the only way that they have to receive what I really think and what I really feel through my songs.
Now, I noticed that most of the songs were about relationships. Why is that? Why do you write so much about relationships?
It's inevitable not to write to love. For me, it's like an addiction to write love.
Well, tell me why you write. Why are most of your songs, at least the one on this album, about relationships?
Because for me, it's inevitable not to write about love.
Okay. Now, I noticed one thing about the relationships in the songs you write about, that they're not going well. All right. Now, are these little works of fiction, or do you relate to some of these songs? Do these come from maybe a relationship that you had that didn't end up?
Well, I think if you hear my music, you could think that I have been mistreated by life. And the truth is that I have been mistreated by life. No. No, the truth is that I exaggerate a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I think everyone have been hurt sometimes, because that's what love is about. I think everyone love. How do you say? Nos premia.
Rewards us?
Exactly. Love rewards us, and love condemns us in a certain way. And we have to learn how to... Okay, forget it.
Let me tell you, it's fun to listen to your lyrics, because it's interesting to hear you say right now that sometimes you exaggerate it. For example, when I heard the one that says, si te va y te cambias por esa bruja. Okay.
Si te vas y me cambias por esa bruja, pedazo de cuero.
Mm-hmm.
No, bueno.
Palabra fuerte. Is that do you feel you want to come on strong? Say you don't hold back. You say what you feel, right?
Yeah, I use the words that I use. In my songs, I use the words that I use in my daily life. And my universe is made of contrasts. I think my music is made of lo-fi sounds, as well made of hi-fi sounds, for example. And my language is also like that. It's made of subtle words and made of raw words.
Now, also the music. A lot of your music is rock, and I heard you say that there's fusion in there. Now, I think that's I've read that it's unusual. First of all, there are not that many women rockers, not that many women Hispanic rockers. What are your influences, and how did it come about that that's the music that you record?
The pop and rock?
The rock. What were your influences that you started to play rock and roll? Or at least influenced by rock and roll?
I have a special devotion for rock and roll, and I think it's because I grew up in a country that is not too familiarized with rock and roll. We have been known through the world, around the world, through our music. I mean, through our folklore, tropical music, right? And that would be the easy path to follow. But I don't like easy paths. I like challenges, and that's why I decided to work on this kind of music, rock and roll and pop music.
Any artists that influence you? Who are the rock artists that you like and influence you?
So many.
Music?
I think musically speaking, I'm the result of what I've been hearing my whole life.
You play the harmonica, right?
Yeah,
I think
a little
I saw your
bit.
credit for the harmonica. There was a song, I heard the harmonica in there, and I thought of, it made me think of Bruce Springsteen. Is he been an influence?
I like rock and roll in all its manifestations, and I think I love rock and roll from the classics, like Police or Pink Floyd, until the moderns, no? Like I don't know, Nirvana, for example. I love folk music. I love mellow rock, like for example Cat Stevens, that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me a little bit about working with Emilio Estefan? He seems to be right now like everything I read about him. He's like super producer. He's everywhere. Tell me about working with him and how that was like.
For me, working with him have been a very good experience. I think it has been a blessing to find him in my path, because he is a professional and he knows exactly what he wants, and he has been in this business 20 years, so he really knows this world of music, and I came to his life, or I would say better, when he came to my life, I was a little confused. I was full of dreams, full of songs, but also full of fears, and he gave me all the support that I needed and all the confidence that I needed to develop this album.
Now tell me a little bit about, we touched on this before, but I read a lot about some women artists say that they have more obstacles than men. You're only 21 and you had a lot of success, so obviously you haven't had that many obstacles. But do you feel that sometimes, or do you see that in music in general, that Hispanic music is, a lot of people feel is dominated by male artists?
I'm not, how do you say feminist? Feminista?
A feminist.
Okay, I'm not a feminist. I'm just a humanist. I believe in women as I believe in men, and I think rockeras exist because rockeros exist also. So I don't think that's a rule, general rule. But definitely I had some obstacles that I had to overcome when I was beginning my career. For example, being young and being small and being a woman.
Okay,
Because I started my career really early. When I was 13 years old, I recorded my first album, and I wanted to express all my ideas and all my criteria, and I was just beginning, and I was surrounded by so many men, you know, with ties and people, businessmen who have been in the business a lot of years. So they just went, "Hey, shut up and let us do our job." But I wanted to participate. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you're a veteran.
It was a little frustrating for me at the beginning, but then I had to start working on showing them what I was able to do. You know?
Are you going to be recording?
I'm sorry.
No,
it's a natural process. It's a natural process and logical at the same time. You know, I had to live.
Are you going to be recording in English? I read somewhere that you're going to do an English language album eventually.
Yeah, the idea is to record in English next year, and Gloria Stefan is translating all the songs to English. But I have to perfect my English a little bit more before crossing over the market. But that's a big challenge now in my career that I have in mind.
You know what kind of music you're going to be playing?
The same songs that are included in this album.
You're going to record them in English. How do you think you're going to do?
I don't know. I'm going to try to do my best. I think it's important to show to the American market what Latin people can do, what we can do from the dark side of the moon.
You know, just
not only tropical music, we also can do rock and pop, and I think it's gonna be refreshing for your market, for your Anglo market.
I just have one more question. Just listening to your song and just talking, you seem fearless. That you want to tackle everything. Is that correct, or you just give that impression?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No tienes miedo a nada.
¿A qué ataco?
You're not afraid to tackle whatever music you want, the style that you're comfortable with. No one's gonna change you. Nadie te va a cambiar. Is that true?
El video says that I'm a general. Un coronel.
Un general.
Un general.
Why?
¿Y cómo se dice? General?
Un general, a general.
Yeah.
That's what
exactly.
Why? Why does he say that?
Because he says that I know exactly what I want, but I think he liked that, and he was extremely respectful with my freedom of expressing my ideas and my creativity. He always let me do what I wanted to do in this album, and he was always present with his support and his suggestions and his encouragement. Thank you. You can tell that my English is not too good. So.
No, I understood. I understood everything
Okay.
you said, and I think you're ready to record in English. I understand everything you said. Thank you very much.